This isn't like some fantasy football trade, as I said yesterday. This isn't, we'll offer you this if you'll give us that. We'll offer you a witness that is irrelevant and immaterial.
I think that's off the table. First of all, the Republicans have the right to bring in any witness they want. They haven't wanted to, and that trade is not on the table.
They haven't wanted to. HB, Hunter Biden. Now, here now with a reaction are two senators who just walked off the floor, sitting as jurors, of course, in the trial, Mike Braun and Rick Scott. Senator Scott, let's start with you. Does Schiff control the Senate Democrats now? What was that?
I don't know. First off, it's boring. I mean,
I was there. Yeah,
it's boring. I mean, and they're not saying anything new. It's just they'll get a different person to show up. They'll show the same video and say the same thing. I mean, I think they've lost everybody, including the public, on this. But we're going to have a fair trial. I don't know if we'll have witnesses. If we do, we ought to hear from Hunter Biden for sure.
Well, Senator Kennedy, I believe, said he learned new things at the trial, and could that mean the door is open to witnesses? If he learned some new things, I don't know what he was doing for the last couple of months, but he learned new things. Does that mean, Senator Braun, we could hear from witnesses down the road?
I think John was probably just stressing his impartiality in the sense that we get asked about that all the time. But I'd agree with Rick, what we've seen so far, and I did pay attention to it because I do a lot of this, and you got to be on the ball because you get asked about it all the time. And everything there was, he had the audio-visual aids. They did package it in a way, but it's the same information. And it's also in a vacuum to where we haven't seen the defense. So that's the main dynamic changer, and we'll hear that in a couple days.
Well, I want to talk about what is happening in that room, though, because I was watching all of you from the gallery. It's fun to sit up there and just like watch who's. It looked like someone was on their phone, but I guess there wasn't, but they weren't. But it seems to me that this is like an exercise in futility. I don't know what people are learning new, except when you heard Adam Schiff at about hour 2.5, I think it was hour 2.5, I did notice he was repeating the same claims he had made not only yesterday, but claims he had made within the hour, within the hour of today.
No, it's trying to stay awake. I mean, this is really boring.
I was almost, well, I'll tell that story later. But I mean, you guys, I don't know how you do it. But look, what they say,
stand up a lot.
What they're saying is, look, I mean, the Republicans can say this is boring, then, but let's make it more exciting and bring in witnesses, Senator.
Yeah. Well, first off, it's their job. It was the House's job. They rushed through this. They could have subpoenaed Bolton. They didn't do that. You know, they could have done all these things. They decided not to do it. They rushed through it, but then they had to slow it down. I think, you know what, I came to the conclusion today on Pelosi? She slowed it down so they get their audio visual.
Oh, yeah. Well, that binder that Schiff has, that 3-punch binder, he's flipping. That was like a War and Peace. That thing was long. It was like this thick. He read the entire thing.
For each one of them, because you come out here and see a 2-inch thick binder, and they're flipping through it so methodically, and it was something yesterday.
All right, well,
sit through 13 hours.
Well, Claire McCaskill, former senator, you all know Claire McCaskill, she made pretty bold prediction today about what this is going to do to you all in the majority next year. Watch.
The vote will be shut it down or go on and consider witness and documents. That vote will be the vote that history revolves around. Even if they go on to vote to acquit, if they refuse to allow witnesses and documents at this point, I think they're in big trouble. I think Chuck Schumer is the leader of the Senate next January.
I don't think so. First off, we've got great candidates, and we're raising the money, and we're on the better side of this, and we're working hard to try to solve problems. And the Democrats are known for doing nothing.
Well, they're targeting Collins, they're targeting Gardner, they're targeting McSally.
Joni,
there's some tough races. There's some tough races. I mean, you're all very confident, but. You know, that Arizona race is going to be brutal.
That'll be tough, and Iowa could be tough. Maine will be, but in general, you got to remember, about a month and a half ago, she was really panicking because remember the Marquette poll and the Firehouse poll not only showed people turning against impeachment, but where Trump was now winning outside the margin of error, and I think that's still in place. You don't hear about it, though.
You know what I think people want to see? They want to see some fighting for them. I think they see, and you're a Democrat, you're watching Schiff.
That's why they like Trump.
Well, that's why they like Trump, but they want Republicans who do more of that and do less of, I'm in a tough race. Do the right thing for the country.
Always do the right thing.
I just think this perpetual Hamlet routine that a lot of these Republicans, the Democrats always stick together. The Republicans shoot each other in the stomach and then in the head. I don't like it.
We all
I don't
stuck
like
together
it.
yesterday.
We did, and you did in Kavanaugh, and that was smart.
We all stuck together yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Well, just send Collins and all the rest like a king cake.
Kavanaugh's a good example, and we each went through races. And in 2018,
It was a tough
when
year.
you were out there, you defend what Trump won by 19 points in Indiana. So I was not afraid to talk about what he could do, what the agenda's doing, and we'll get to that after he gets acquitted.
Oh, wait till Cipollone and company get up and make their case.
They're going to do a good job.
That'll be the big change.
And I like Senator Braun, how you took the tie off because you had it by the end of the day. You had it.
do
What if you
that
just
every
showed
day.
up in a T-shirt and jeans? Like, you're like, okay, if we're going to make comfortable, we're going to really sweat pants. Come on. Great to see you both. Thanks for being with us. I know you're tired. And